Hey guys, it's Charmise Idris here from Charmed Handmade, and today I wanted to give you a few tips and tricks on what I think led to my Etsy success and making over $150,000 in revenue on the platform. So stay tuned. Before we get fully started, I do want to let you know at the end of this video, I do have a couple answers to questions that I received regarding my Etsy journey from Patreon and Instagram. And some of the questions will actually be answered in the video, so make sure you watch the video all the way through. So the number one question I get when I discuss my Etsy journey is, how did you get your first couple sales from people you don't know? So some people will have their family and their friends buy a bunch of things so that they can get their first couple of sales, which is great. But if you don't have that, this is what I did. I started my shop on February 15th. 2019, and on February 16th, the next day, I had a pop-up shop. And so not had a pop-up shop, I was a vendor at a pop-up shop. And so I did that just so that I can get my first couple of sales, because really nobody wants to be the first sale. Like if you don't know the shop, they don't have any reviews, you don't want to be the first sale. So I got my first sales in person. So you can use the Square app through Etsy and get sales that way in person. I do think this greatly helped my shop, because the day after that I got a couple more sales, and the day after that I got some more sales. And I did kind of go into this more on my video that I did on my first 1,000 sales. That is a 3-year-old video, but I watched it and it actually does hold up. But anyway, enough of me patting myself on the back. So yes, so I just decided that my first sales would be in person so that I can look a little more legitimate as a business. The next thing I would say that I think helped my business a lot and helped me grow in the right direction is having a target audience and a niche or niche. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like I knew what my target audience was when I first started selling, and I'm not going to sit here and act like I already knew what a target audience was, because I went from being a hobbyist, I was just making things that I like, and I decided to sell it just because I needed it out of my house and I thought it was good myself, to being a business owner. So I had to start thinking like a business owner, which is really the number one tip of the day. But having a target audience and a niche that I can find my way through. So I knew it was bath and body, vegan, well, plant-based, and small batch, but like being able to form within that definitely helped me grow. Next, let's talk about the two things that I really focused on to optimize my listings so that people could find me and they would actually click on my product. The first is photography, and I know photography is not the most important thing. I used to be a photographer, so I do emphasize it a lot. But the reason why I say it first a lot of times is because that is the first thing that my customers see when they're on their search page and they see my picture and they're like, oh, that's a good quality picture. Let me click on that and see what's going on there. So that's why I say photography first a lot, because you don't want low quality photos. This could be dimly lit, or the angles are off, or you know what a bad photo looks like when you see a bad photo, and you're not really inclined to click on that to see more about that product. So I try to always make sure that the first photo you see, so that actual listing photo, is a great photo. Throughout the years, which I'll put a couple photos over here while I'm talking, but throughout the years you'll see that my photography got better, and that is another tip, is to keep upgrading your listings. But my photography did get better as I got better. So I think I started off pretty good, like you could understand what it was a clear photo, but like it really skyrocketed the more I learned. And I truly think when you have a good photo and of course a great product, it can really get you places, because this photo right here has been on CNN, Tamron Hall, Good Housekeeping, BuzzFeed, Yahoo Entertainment, and a bunch of other things in articles that I've had or on TV that I've had. So this photo alone has truly helped my business a lot, but that's also because it's a great product as well. And no, you don't need a bunch of expensive equipment to get a great product photo or a clear product photo. There are so many videos here on YouTube. I even have a couple, I'll put them in the cards, but so many great videos here on YouTube that will teach you how to take pictures with a inexpensive camera or the camera on your phone. And the number 2 thing that I wanted to focus on listings was SEO, of course, because you have to get found to even have a picture to be seen, I guess. So yeah, you definitely need to focus on SEO, and there are tons of videos here on YouTube. I personally don't have any just yet because I want to have a full understanding of it before I teach you guys how to do it, but there are some great videos out here about SEO, and I promise you I didn't really focus on it in the beginning. Like, I knew keywords like this is a bath salt, this is eucalyptus, like I knew how to name things, but as far as being found in search, I did not focus on it as much as I should have, but with growing, I did. So I was able to be found, and a lot of my listings are on the first page, and some are the actual first product you see, not from an ad, but the first product you see when you're searching bath salt or bath bomb or shower steamer. So SEO, definitely focus on that. Let's talk about something that is really big in business, but some businesses do gloss over it. It's customer service. Simple, I know, but on Etsy it is a huge thing because it'll get you those repeat buyers, which of course Etsy loves and you love, and then those 5-star reviews, which we all love. One thing I highly recommend is to respond fast. So if somebody messages you and asks you about like a bulk product or like your customizable product, reply fast because it makes them think that you want their sale, of course, that you're attentive. This is a live shop because people are seeing a lot of different listings. Like if you're looking up bulk bath salt, you're going to see a bunch of them. And so if somebody asks me how long are the tubes for the bath salt, I do try to respond as quick as possible, even when they're in the description. I do try to respond as quick as possible so that they can go ahead and purchase, because a lot of these people already have money in hand and they're like sitting at their computer like, okay, is she going to respond? And I'm not saying drop everything to respond, but respond as quick as you can. And the next thing I would say is to ship fast as well. And I'm not saying you have to ship same day, next day, whatever, but right now my processing time for my regular retail products is 3 to 5 business days, and sometimes I'll ship them out the next day or the day after that before the 3 days hits, and other times I do need that cushion and I will ship it out when I can ship it out. But that a lot of times gets me 5-star reviews. They may not have anything else to say about the product. They might have liked the product, but like maybe not go to give a review on it, but they can appreciate that it was shipped fast because we do live in the Amazon age and we like things like that. So yes, ship as fast as you can. That's of course not the only things that you need to do to have good customer service, but they truly help when it comes to repeat buyers and good reviews. But when I do get some repeat buyers, I know exactly what they like. They will try. I have some people that will try anything that I make, and they'll buy a bunch of stuff at one time. And then so sometimes I will take like a black raspberry and vanilla soap because I know it's your favorite. You've told me you love it. You've already left 5-star reviews on it. I'll take a little sample one or a full bar and I put it in there for them. Now, I'm not saying you got to do that, but that's just one of the things that I do, just like with the discount codes for shopping with me again, stuff like that. Now, you don't, like I said, you don't have to do that, but just good customer service overall will give them a good experience and get you repeat buyers and good reviews. What is that, the 3rd time I said that? But it really helps. Now, this next tip might be super obvious, but promote your business. Yes, Etsy is a marketplace where people can organically find your products. So yes, they can search if you have good SEO and a lot of sales and good photography. Yes, they can find you that way, but they can also find you through Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, I don't know, whatever you want to promote on. Choose the Pinterest, that was a good one. But yes, promote your business and do it in different ways. Now, I'm not saying do it on different platforms. You don't have to do it on every platform that you're able to do it on, but maybe choose a few and promote it on there. Like I promote my business here on YouTube. It does help. Sell some soap that I taught you how to make and then people will buy it. It helps. Or post a reel of doing behind the scenes. And then other things that I like to post are, well, back in 2019 when I started the business, I would post a map that I could scratch off and it was the United States. I wasn't selling all over the place yet, but it was just United States. And so I would scratch off some of the states that I sold to, and maybe like every 4 or 5 states I would post it. I'm like, hey, first one went to Montana, Alaska, and whatever. And people would get excited because people that knew me, like the people that were following my Instagram and Facebook, they're like, oh, she's shipping outside of Greenville, South Carolina. She must be serious about this business. Let me try her soap. And then I also had some people see the map and are like, oh, I'm in North Carolina. I'm going to order your soap so you can scratch me off. And it was really cool that way. And then I also, like, I'll post every time, well, not every time, a lot of times where I ship to new countries. So like I'll post the package. I'm like, this one's going to, or Charmed is headed to Australia or something like that. And it makes you look a little more legitimate, because I mean, somebody in Australia is buying a $3 bath salt tube of mine and paying $26 in shipping. Like, that's amazing. So yes, promote yourself. It's not bragging. You're just promoting yourself. And now, of course, there is a thin line between promoting yourself and bragging, but promote yourself. So we're gonna get to the Q&A section in just a moment, but I do want to tell you the last 3 things, they're all in one, the last 3 things that I did to get my product out there and bring in a lot more revenue, and also not have to make a bunch of different products, like have different recipes and stuff. So that is 1, wholesale, so like bulk items or wholesale items, and then 2, gift boxes or gift bags, gifts, and then 3, custom items. Because Etsy is like big on those 3 things. And gift boxes, like, a lot of people don't want to shop with a bunch of different shops to get an item, or buy a bunch of different products to put it in a box or a bag that is presentable. So I did gift boxes. Like, this was one of my first gift boxes, and then this is what my self-care gift boxes look like now. So they have everything in there sampling my products. So if whoever receives the gift, if they want to go buy a Grapefruit Rose soap, they can, because I have that singular as well. But yeah, so like I said, people don't want to go to a bunch of different places, especially during the pandemic. It really helped, and really, I'm not gonna hold y'all, the pandemic helped my business a lot. But anyway, yes, gift boxes or gift bags, gifts. And then wholesale. So I still have my same sense of bath salts, and then I have bath bombs and shower steamers, and I wholesale all those, and face masks, same ones from the jump. I wholesale all those items, and I do them in different containers, same product, different containers, and they really sell well. So if it is within your grasp to do wholesale, gifts, or custom items, I definitely recommend trying at least one of those things, because they all are big on Etsy. Before we get to our last section, I do want to shout out my people over on Patreon. Make sure you check out their links in the description below. As I said earlier, some of the questions were answered throughout the video, but some weren't. So let's get into Patreon first, because I did open this up to my patrons over there. One question was, do you think Etsy is more competitive now versus when you first started? I definitely 100% think that it is more competitive. Now that shouldn't scare you from starting on there, but it is. Actually, I have some stats for you, and I'll cite my source in the description, because I did go through a couple articles and it did match up with some others. So in 2015, there were 1.6 million sellers on Etsy, and that's 2015. And then by 2022, there were 7.5 million sellers on Etsy. So the numbers don't lie. I think it is definitely more competitive. The next question is, did Etsy fees change over time? And this is actually the same person that asked me that. Yes, they did. When I started, the transaction fee for Etsy was 5%, and it is now 6.5%. I can do a full video on fees, because I don't think I ever did one. So maybe I should do a whole video on the Etsy fees, because yeah, you got to know about those. Now, this last question I actually got 5 times. I think 2 or 3 on Patreon, and then 2 or 3 on Instagram. And the question is, can you give advice to people who are selling on Etsy and Shopify? So yes, I can actually. I think that deserves a full video, but I'm going to give you a short, sweet situation. First, I would say make sure you link your Etsy shop and your Shopify shop, or if you have Wix or Squarespace, whatever you got, make sure that you link them so that the inventory can be the same for both shops. And so if one sells in one shop, you don't have to go manually fix it in the other. It's just much easier. So I did do a video on SHOUTOUTS. That's a good app for Shopify, and my favorite actually is Inventora. I also did a video on that, and all of that will be in the cards. My next tip for having a Shopify and an Etsy is to promote your Shopify. So I promote my website over anything. Sometimes I do have to have my Etsy linked to my website, but it is still in my actual website, charmedhandmade.com, because I do have my own set of traffic coming through Etsy, and I don't want buyers to be confused on where to go. Should I go to Etsy? Should I go which one should I purchase from? Promote your Shopify, because you have far less transaction fees, and like I said, it doesn't confuse the customer. Next tip is try to keep your prices about the same, because you don't want somebody to find your Etsy price is a little cheaper than your website price, because then you feel cheated because they purchased from your website. So now they kind of don't trust you anymore. But so yeah, try to keep them the same. Like, I don't have free shipping on my website just yet, but everything will be going to a flat rate so that I can have it the same on both. And when I first had my website, I did do the $35 free shipping, just like I did on Etsy as well. And like I said earlier, I can do a full video on if you should even have a Shopify and an Etsy, or a website and an Etsy. If you want that, let me know, because I don't know. But yes, so I could do a full video on that, but those are my favorite tips for having a Shopify and an Etsy without having a specific question for it. So thank you so much for tuning in. I think this may have been a long video, so I'm sorry. But yes, if you've gotten to this point, thank you. And if you like my channel and you have not subscribed yet, can you please subscribe? And if you like this video, I mean, I feel like you got this far, so you might like the video. So can you please give it a thumbs up, and peace.